Welcome to another edition of Talking Models. Today we're taking another look at Shadow Creations' new release of Samara from the Well, sculpted by Mark Van Tine, and it's a beautiful 1/4 scale bust at a big 10 inches tall. And today's episode we're going to take a look at painting in grayscale. This is my first attempt at this, and I'm pretty happy with the results. And I had some help from a great line of paints that is being released by George Stevenson out of Blackheart Models. And first I'm going to let you kind of take a look at the kit. I'm going to spin it around a little bit so you can see the different shades of gray that I used in the kit. Of course, you got the front with Samara creeping out from the well, again with that awkward walk that she had, and she's coming out for you, as you see here. You can see all the detail Mark caught in sculpting this beautiful piece. This is the limited edition VHS tape that you get if you're one of the first 25 orders. I'm about halfway gone on that initial release. So if you want one of these, hit me up. I'll have the contact information for Shadow Creations in the info part of this video. And you can see as we spin it around, everything is just beautifully captured. So I'm going to go into a little bit of a detail of what I did with this kit in bringing Samara to life in a grayscale. And the first thing I used was this Stylorez line of primers from Badger. And that's what I started out with. I just sprayed the whole thing with this gray, light gray primer. And then I struggle with spraying this through the airbrush. If somebody has a tip, like I say, I've watered it down, then of course you get a whole different feel to the primer. What I ended up doing with this is put it in one of my mixing bowls and I hand brushed it on. And I like that a little bit better. So I just got a big brush and I just primed the whole well, and I primed all of her by brush. So the first thing I did, I came in with, from this line, I'm going to bring some of the paints out so you can see what they look like. There's 6 to the set. As you can see, and you get everything that you need here. You get their first color here is it's called their grayscale dark gray. You get their grayscale black. You get this color is grayscale gray white dark. Then of course you get the grayscale gray. You get the grayscale white gray light. And then of course you get the grayscale white. So that's the set. There's 6 in all, as you see here. And I'm going to kind of go through what I did here to bring her to life. On the well itself, I started by airbrushing the dark gray scale on it. So I started with that, and I sprayed the whole thing with this. And don't be afraid, just really spray this on. Nice complete coat of it. Then what I like to do is with this one, I was trying to decide on a grayscale. Again, this was my first one. So I wanted to try to get a mixture of grays and blacks in this. So next up, I pulled out their simple color of just grayscale. And what I did then is just started airbrushing that on all the portions of the well and all the different bricks. Just bringing out the airbrush and just nicely, hit each rock. Just don't be afraid, just kind of spray it over. Don't destroy all the detail of your base coat. Just, go again gently on all the bricks of the well. Then what I did is I came in with their black, which is the grayscale black, and what I did is thinned it down just a tad. I dropped maybe a drop or 2 of water, and I kind of just hit all the indentations of the well rocks. I just hit all the centers to start building up shading, if you will. So as you go around it here, you can see all the different dark areas of it, and that was again done with this paint. And then I came in, after I did that, I came out with their grayscale here. It's the gray-white mix. And what I did with that is just started hitting the centers of mostly a lot heavier, as you can tell, in the front of the brick area, like I've described in other videos. I always like the front of it to have the most impact, and then it dulls as it goes around to the back. That way everything you want to impact the person viewing your kits is in the front. It draws all the attention here. And then of course your crescendo up into your figure. So with that, I just kept hitting all the centers of the bricks, a little heavier, a little spotty here and there in the back. Majority of it was heavier in the front. And then what I like to do from there is I came back in with the dark black gray, and I just intentionally, without watering it down, I just hit a little bit heavier in the front just to deepen the shadows, if you will. So you can see along the bottoms here of all these front rocks was hit pretty heavy with that black, straight up black, no watering it down. And I just kind of just lightly with the airbrush, don't go crazy on your trigger. It's all trigger control with an airbrush. Just hit it real light, just barely pull it back and hold it back a little bit, and you'll get that nice flow going. You'll feel it once you start flowing. Guys and gals out there that have used airbrushes, you know exactly what I'm saying. Just come in and start hitting it as heavy as you want and as light as you want. If you get too crazy, come back in with the gray and just kind of lighten it up a little bit and take some of that black down. For me, the trick is sometimes letting that black bleed a little bit in so it flows from the indentations of the shadows and it kind of blends into your color, and in this case it's the gray. And it gives you just a nice look like you see on this here. And then for the letterings of the ring, I came in with the grayscale white gray. I didn't want to go with the white. I wanted just a little bit of a whitish gray look of it, but not too stark, if you will. So I decided to use this. And what I did with that is basically just with a hand brush, I just painted in all the letterings of this. To me, it kind of stands out, but not overpowering with the gray scale that we have on the well. You'll see that this, to me, works nicely to kind of blend everything in and give you what you're looking for. And that is basically everything I did to the base. As simple as it sounds, it simply was simple. It's just playing with the different grays. This paint set that George puts out over at Blackheart Models is just perfect. You know, it's got all the different grays. You just build up your colors, you know, and it's all, you just shake it up, and I'm telling you, this stuff sprays like a breeze. Just really nice through the airbrush. And it spreads nicely with a hand brush, like for the lettering. It can be painted on, but it's definitely designed to be sprayed on, and it does a great job. I'll put George's contact info in here so you can hit him up for a set of these. Now for Samara herself, all kinds of good stuff going here. I think we'll just start with her dress is the best way to go with this. I did come in first of all with this on her. I did use the darkest gray that you can use before going black. And I started with that gray, which is this one here. It's called Grayscale Dark Gray. And what I did with that is I just sprayed the complete dress over the primer. It just went all the way around, just sprayed the whole thing until I got a nice dark tone. Then it was time to start building up her dress. If you remember from the movie, her dress was not well kept. So you want to kind of dirty that up. You kind of want to make it look like it's just old material. And when you're doing it in a black or in a grayscale, you've got to accomplish that through basically colors of gray and some black. And that's what we did with this one. So with that as a starting base, I then simply came in with the next up gray. And which one did I use here? I believe I used just straight up gray, light gray. And I just started airbrushing all the high raised areas of her dress all the way around, and just kept spraying on the folds, until I got the look that I wanted to achieve with her. You can just see all the different variety of grays that are going on here. And with that done, what I like to do at this point is I come in with that black gray, and I just lightly thinned it down, a drop of water, or whatever you use to thin your paint, and I just started hitting all the folds of the dress. You know, heavy in the lines, heavy back here by her hair, and each fold. Mark's got so much detail on her. You just follow his sculpt. I'm telling you, it's all here. You know, I just started deepening in the areas all along the dress. Everywhere there's a fold in her material, you want to shadow that in with that black. And it'll give you that deep shadowing look. And then I came in with the gray just above the lighter gray, not the white, but the near white gray. And I purposely came in a little bit closer. I enlisted the chrome, the Badger chrome for that job. And I just put it in real light and just hit every single top fold that you see along her dress. You can also do that with dry brushing, but in the case of these paints, I think it's better to airbrush them. So I came in, hit all the folds. Everywhere you see a fold, the top of her shoulder areas was all done just a little bit lighter with that light gray white, if you will. And just get it, again, it's like I've said in all my videos, it's a process. You go back, you hit some areas. If you don't like it, tone it down a little bit. That's where that black gray comes in. You just kind of just mist it close. I like going close to the folds. It gives you nice separation from the light to the dark. And it really does dirty up her dress. And then what I like to do after that is, with this piece, is I came back in with the black gray. And I simply, without watering it down, just intentionally hit certain areas of her dress to give it that dirt look, like dirt is stuck on her from the well. And you can see like different areas on the shoulders. I just kind of hit spots, a little bit on the waist area of her dress, down here at the bottoms of her arm area. That's up to you as you look at the piece. If you get the piece and paint it, you'll see what I mean when you start hitting the dress. Picture anywhere in the dress that would be more worn, or more areas that would be dirtier, and you just kind of more intentionally come in with that black and get your dirt spots, if you will. And that was all I did with her dress. You know, it gives you a variety of coloring, it gives you a variety of shadowing, it gives you a variety of grays. Again, we are painting in a gray scale. And it finished off her dress nicely and gives her that dirty look. Now, we'll go to her skin tones. I'll start with her arms, because her arms and her face are similar, but there's a little bit more heavier highlighting when we get to Samara's face. Her arms were treated, again, basically with the same type of scales. It was just started with the regular gray scale paint from this line and airbrushed the complete arms. And then it was just a matter of coming in with the different colors of shadings, that black, the different grays, and just having some fun. You can see a lot of areas here I did the same treatment with the black dirty spots, just certain areas of her skin where just like dirt spots, mold spots, whatever you want to call it. And I just intentionally came in and just hit them hard in some areas. Bottoms of her hands, tops of her fingers, her fingernails, all that, you just kind of just intentionally hit it. Again, all airbrushed. A lot of this I like to use, again, that Badger Chrome. It's a very fine detail brush. I can get in close and intentionally put all them dirty areas right where I want them. The dirt spots, age spots, mold spots, whatever you want to call it in this piece. And then once I was done with that, I came in with the lighter white gray. Not, again, there's whitest white in this grayscale set, but the one just below it. And I just hit highlighted areas, tops of her knuckles, tops of her fingers, ends of tops here just before her fingernails, and just kind of mist it here and there, just to give it that grayish white look, but not quite white, because again, we're doing grayscale, but we don't want it completely white and just overpowering. And then once I was done with that, I just came back in with that gray black, watered it down a little bit, and just kind of generally misted it over, kind of like I do with the transparent black, but I did it with this just to kind of tone it all down. Now for her face, same treatment as her arms, a little bit heavier on her lips, under her eye with that black gray. Again, with my finest airbrush, I come in and I just kind of intentionally hit all that areas a little bit heavier, defining some of the areas in her forehead, along side of her nose, the little dimple we have above our lips, just areas that you want to deepen the black a little bit. You know, just that way it's going to be more of a creepy look, and it's going to give a little bit more shadowing when you go to this next step, bringing the face of popping some of the lighter gray out. And that's what I did with her face. I enlisted their final color, which is basically called grayscale white. I mean, this is almost like a white, but it's a very light gray. And that was the final color that I used on Samara's face. And again, with that Patriot Chrome and or whatever finest brush you use, I came in and started intentionally hitting eyebrow, top of the nose, below the chin, on each side above her lips, and just came in a little bit lighter. Again, that's going to be up to you as you start painting one, is how light do you want to go? How stark do you want to go? I wanted the face to be a little starker than the arm areas, just to draw attention to this beautiful sculpted face of Samara that Mark did. And of course, to go along with the black deepening that I did around the eye, the nose, the lip. To me, it just makes her face pop. Again, it's all, for me, is about starting with the base, working your way up until you get to the crescendo, which is the bust in this size, in this kit. But for me, the area was the face. That's what I wanted to punch you with. And so that's why you see, to me, a flow of grays until you get up to her face, and then you get the lightest gray from the set, which just completes it. Now for her eye area, I used the basic gray from this set, did the eye area, came in with the dark gray black, circled in my pupil, then I came in with the actually the whitest white and just drew in the pupil white. I did not do a black pupil, I decided to do a white pupil. Just adds to the creepiness of that clouded look that she has. And then of course, when I was done with that, I took out my Tamiya clear coat, just did a couple light coats over her eye to give it that glossy look. Also did a little bit in the center of her lip, just for that wet look, like she's, you know, waiting for her next person to claim after they watch this video. And that was basically everything done to her face. The hair itself was done strictly with the gray black, and I just airbrushed it all on there to get the first coat on, and then I came in with a brush and put some of that into a little mixing bowl and just hand painted the closer areas, the back strands of hair that Mark sculpted down close to her dress here. And you want to use that to get in close to her face, because he's got it beautifully just sculpted right to her face, that creepiness that she had. So that was basically all hand brushed. Once I hand brushed all the black and got it where I want it, then I came back in with the airbrushing of the same color and just misted it over everything, just to make sure that there was nothing showing, you know, because you just want straight up black for this. And that is everything that was done to Samara from the well in grayscale. Again, I'm very pleased with this kit. I'm pleased with the way this came out. I'm happy to say I'm pleased with my first attempt at a grayscale kit. And I hope that you try out this set of grayscale paints from Blackheart Models and see what the things that you can do with it. Maybe, you know, now my mind is just racing with getting some classic monsters and a line of something and doing a line of kits, and who knows, maybe Shadow Creations will do their own line of classic monsters one day, and just do them all in a grayscale that just speaks the age of the creation of the monster. It just speaks of the genre of the film, the years it was made, because there was no color, and it just adds to it. The tape itself was done with basically the same color combinations. I just started with the black for the hair, airbrushed some grays. The tape was just done with different combinations of grays. That would be left up to the artist how you want to pursue that. And simply, again, with a Sharpie, I just came in. The other one I put Watch Me. This one I put Play Me. And just wrote it right on the tape itself. And again, this tape only comes with the first 25 orders, and those are halfway gone. So hit me up for this kit, and I hope you took something away from this grayscale tutorial, and give it a try. I was very intimidated by grayscale paint-ups. Watched so many different people put out great stuff. I've watched Susan Autry put out some amazing grayscale stuff from the Blackheart Micro series. And I thought, you know what? I bought these paints months ago. I might as well give it a shot. And I decided to try it on Samara. And I'm very happy I did. And I brought out the old school videotape. I'm not going to watch it because, you know what I mean. And it's just a great movie. If you haven't seen it, give it a shot, see what you think. And again, I appreciate you watching today's edition of Talking Models, as we highlighted it again, Samara from the Well, from Shadow Creations, in grayscale. So thanks again for stopping in today, and I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel and get the word out and let people know about it. And we're going to be trying lots of new things coming up here on Talking Models. We're going to be continuing our series from Earthbound Studios' Big Head collection. We're going to start back up on our sci-fi kits and take it from there with them. I'm going to be doing a video soon on the workbench and the importance of your work area as you're creating these things, and just kind of give you a look at my bench and my tools and the way that I set up to paint. So again, thank you for stopping in. Please subscribe, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. May God bless.